Since I'm putting you a lot in my video, are you gonna watch my video now?
No.
F you.
I commented.
Hello and welcome back to Wealth. Today we're skimming through Indonesian culture, which is why I'm driving around Jakarta with my friends. Keep
So
talking.
this is Pasar Indonesia, like one of the malls with most branded stuff in. And in front there there's this place where the
So while Vanessa's trying to play tour guide, I took us to Monas, which is a very important national monument in Jakarta. So where are we, y'all?
we're at Monas.
Monas is a 132-meter tower that is symbolic of Indonesia's struggle for independence. Gila. It's located in the center of Merdeka Square in the middle of Jakarta. Actually, we're not just looking at Jakarta, we're looking at Java, we're looking at Kalimantan, and we're looking at Aceh. So 3 different islands, 3 different cultures. Why? Well, Aceh had that tsunami in 2004 which shook Indonesia, and then Kalimantan had some forest fires which also shook Indonesia. As for Java, well, they're the largest ethnic group in Indonesia, so it just makes sense for me to base my research on these 3, right? This shot was taken in the National Museum. Then I also went to Taman Mini, Indonesia to look at material culture. But first, a history lesson. Okay, so the first recorded history dates back to the 4th century BC, and it was the introduction of pottery in West Java. Then in the 4th century AD, they found the first of Indonesia's rock inscriptions in East Kalimantan. Then Java Islands began creating more stone inscriptions to mark their identities as kingdoms. Trade links are made between Indonesia, China, and India, which is good. More rice farms and towns bloomed, which is also very good. And then in the 8th century, they started building the Borobudur, which then became the largest Buddhist monument, which is also very cool. Then Java also sent a few raids to Vietnam, which was, Anyway, the Portuguese came, and guess what they wanted? Spices! Well, actually, everyone who came to Indonesia wanted spices, except Japan. Japan was like, we are the same, but friend, you are too westernized. We will fix you. And Indonesia was like, please leave. But what they really wanted to say was get off our land, but they can't because the Japanese were too strong. So the Japanese stayed here until the US kicked them back with a nuclear bomb. Anyway, my boy Sukarno said,
let's get independent, for real.
And invited everyone, and together they wrote the proclamation, which basically stated that Indonesia is an independent state. Then he announced his proclamation to the entire nation. We are independent for real, he said, and became the first president of Indonesia. Also, his buddy over there, Muhammad Hatta, became the first vice president. Things went wrong, and Hatta said,
Your rules suck.
and Sukarno was like, Anyway, back to the video. Culture is a group's shared practices, values, and beliefs. It can be categorized into 2, material and non-material. Material culture is much more touchable. It's like flags and spices, while non-material culture is much more abstract, like religion and ideology. Today we're looking at Java, Kalimantan, and Aceh. Let's start with the material culture, because it's easy. When it comes to Indonesian culture, each province is most likely known for their cuisine, their dance, and their house. It's all traditional. So, let's see what Aceh has in store. Rumah Aceh, which literally means Aceh's house, is typically divided into 3 sections, and the houses are always lifted onto platforms. Aceh, like all the other provinces in Indonesia, has their own traditional clothing. So theirs is called ule balang, and before it was only used for the nobility, but now it's mostly used for marriage. Alongside these artistic creations, Aceh prides himself in traditional weaponry. Their most common weapon is called the rencong, a type of blade that is curved and has a wooden handle with passage from the Al-Quran engraved on it. This is like a passage from the Al-Quran. Okay, let's move to Kalimantan. So when I went to the National Museum, I found a very interesting artifact, which is this bead necklace that was found in Kalimantan, used to decorate the dead when, they're buried. So I went to Taman Mini to go look at the traditional houses, and I found some for Kalimantan. They're called betang or betang. I'm not really sure. It depends on your pronunciation. It's not this one. It's the one behind it. Wait, there we go. Right there. It was really hard to get a full shot of it since it was huge. It's like 20 meters long at least. Okay, the cool thing is they have this sword called mandau, which they believe to have spiritual magic in it. So they use it for like rituals and war. And we're off to Java, but Java is actually really complicated. Here's my uncle explaining why.
Jawa itu kan dibagi 3.
Yeah.
Ada Jawa Barat,
Yeah.
ada Tengah,
Yeah.
ada Timur.
Yeah.
Kalau Jawa Barat itu Sunda, Jawa Tengah itu yang kayak Jogja segala, Solo, Jawa Timur itu yang kemarin kita datang. Ya, Surabaya, gitu-gitu loh. Bahasanya kasar. Bahasanya lebih kasar kalau Timur.
Since it's very separate, we're just gonna skim through it. They have dolls, very cool dolls. They have wardrobes are so like refined and with great handcrafting. They have lots of reliefs, so many stone sculptures. This one's taken right next to a trash can, but it's so good, and their architecture is so calming and just aesthetic. Okay, aesthetic. So since I'm no expert, let's ring up some experts. While my aunt and grandma are both considered Javanese, they're not exactly the same. Bebe kan orang Sunda ya kan, Be?
Ya iyalah.
Oke, Bebe dari Jawa mana? Tempat apa?
Oh, dari Jawa Barat.
Itu.
Ini logatnya aja logat Sunda. Kumaha?
Coba Bebe, bahasa Sundanya gimana, Be? Terus namanya Bebe, nama saya Nia gitu coba.
Nah, kami abdi teh Nia Nursanti. Pada melat ngajar. Tapi guru. Naon pi? Hayu sadayana kurang nonton video project nalalanya. Tong hilap. Ayo nonton sami-sami sadayana.
Tong hilap tuh apaan?
Itu jangan lupa.
And as for my grandma,
Apa?
yang Jawanya Jawa mana yang?
Jawa Timur,
Yang kota apa yang? Dari kota apa?
Surabaya, Surabaya.
Oke.
Ya, wes ngene ya, wes. Ayo rek, mlaku nang Surabaya. Tutane gede, panganane enak, rekutane rame, wonge apik, tapi seneng nesu.
So dialect, ideology, religion, that's all non-material culture. The three main non-material culture that I will be talking about today is Indonesia's dialect, their religions, and the society. Wait, I'll explain. So I showed you two of Java's main dialects. So we talked about Buddhism, we talked about Islam, but there's something called Kejawen as well. The Javanese had a variety of religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, and Kejawen. Kejawen is their ideologies. When I interviewed my grandmother, she told me that Kejawen was really strict, like rules such as you're not allowed to sleep unless it's 12 a.m. And also, you have to wake up at 5. And very trivial things that in the end people dropped. Obviously not everyone, like this side is saying, there are still people practicing and dedicating themselves to this belief, which is very nice to see that it hasn't died out. Now, about society, Indonesia has these things called suku, which basically means tribe, and each province has their own specific type. From Kalimantan, we have suku Iban and suku Kayan, which are so cool, and they all have their own culture. They all live separately in remote places, and there's suku Kenya as well. And I can't go into detail because they're just so... It dates back to a long time. Look at all their traditional wear, which we call pakaian adat, by the way. And from Aceh, we have suku Tamiang. See, they're all just so very different. And they all have their specific, like suku Gayo as well. They're all from Aceh. I'm not going to Java because we already talked about them with my aunt and my grandma. And I can't go into detail with each of them because it's just very intricate and so diverse. If you want me to, you can comment below and subscribe to me because next week we're moving away from culture and going straight into the medical zone